Hey, this is Jason Thomas with Fly Racing, and we're going to talk about a really exciting new project from Fly Racing today. And I have Chip Jones from Product Creation, who is an integral part of this product and project, and it's called Blueprint. Now, I'm going to ask you from the very beginning, Chip, what is Blueprint, and what is the reason that Fly Racing is coming out with this project?
Blueprint was really the evolution of our prior collection of protection equipment. We had a lot of success with RHEON, which is the strain rate dependent polymer that we use in the Formula helmets. And we wanted to take that technology and put it basically around the rest of the body. We kind of jokingly talked quite a bit about the RHEON man, basically head to toe RHEON, because we know that the protection benefits of this polymer are not only beneficial to the head, but also to the rest of the body, because it provides a lightweight, ventilated, super thin profile that allows for like very soft conformity when it's not needed, but it also becomes stiff and firm once you need it, like on a crash or in an impact.
So you mentioned RHEON being a key part of the Blueprint project. What makes it different, say on an impact, on the Formula helmet or on this Blueprint, what makes it different than your standard energy absorbing material than anything else you'd see on the market in that impact situation?
This one is, think of it like a shock absorber. It's like a progressive resistance. The more energy you put into the system, the more it stiffens and provides protection against it. So it's like literally like linear progressive, like a shock on the rear of a bike. So the more energy you put into it, the more protection it provides you.
That makes a lot of sense. So when you think about protection, it's been such an innovative space in this sport at all, right? We know it's a dangerous sport, and the more we can protect people, where do you see Blueprint going as far as like what is the next step or the next generation for Blueprint products?
Well, this foundational collection or release of Blueprint products, we look at protection as kind of the foundation or the blueprint of rider's gear, right? It's what you typically wear underneath, whether it's elbow, chest, knee, things like that. So it's the blueprint or the foundation for the rest of the kit that you wear when you're going out to ride or race. So we wanted to make sure that this Blueprint line is really that leading edge of protection. And so what we want to do going forward is basically take all of the learnings and the evolution of the Blueprint and start to extrapolate that into the rest of the product collection.
So when you look at the landscape of protection, at the very beginning of this process, you have to be thinking, okay, what are customers missing? What is the next step, or how are we going to innovate the game as a brand with Fly Racing? What did you perceive as what was missing? Was it a protection? Was it weight? Was it a combination of those things? And what kind of goals were you hoping to solve with Blueprint?
That's a great question. It really was weight, it was bulk, it was not necessarily previous evolutions being like anatomically correct, but we wanted to make the lightest weight, most slimmest profile, most body formed, conforming. So basically you don't even wear it. It's kind of like a zero distraction proposition. Once it's on, it conforms to your body, you don't even know it's there. So when we start from like the RCH0, which is our racer unit right there, all the way to the RCH3, which is something like an old vet racer like me would wear because I want all the protection. It's basically a modular design that allows you to get, even at the most minimal proposition, the maximum protection.
Let's take a look at a couple of those products you mentioned. Start out with the RCH0.
So this is your kind of high-level, pro-level racer unit that you wear typically under a jersey. Super low-profile RHEON chest and back. It is level 1, chest and back, with a fully adjustable G-hook closure here, kind of like you see on a lot of watches, a lot of watch straps nowadays.
Yep.
But this is really meant to be worn under the jersey, thin, super low profile, don't even know it's there, because the RHEON is so soft and flexible, it just conforms to every movement. But when you take that hit or that impact or that roost, it firms up and gives you that total protection package.
So that's more of your minimalist, right?
Correct.
When you think about the racewear, you have that white line where everything's the lightest weight, pure performance. This is where you see that fitting in.
When you know you got to wear something and you typically don't, this is what you reach for.
Perfect. Okay, the next step, you go from RCH0, which is pure minimalism, to the RCH1. What differentiates this?
This is when you start to add the exterior plastic. This is for that level, one step above the racer only level, where you want to have that hard plastic shell, both in the chest and in the back, to give you that full, again, both of these are CE level 1, chest and back, but it gives you that added protection, that added perception of, if I take a foot peg or a bar end to the chest, I'm gonna have a little bit more protection. Again, this goes back to that guy who wants a little bit more protection than the minimalist RCH 0, but is ready. You know, doesn't need the shoulders, doesn't need the arm, doesn't need the rib cage protection.
Okay, so longtime fly racing customers, you may remember the Rebel was a chest protector before this. You see this as similar type build to that, but upgraded protection, upgraded performance from that?
Upgraded 1 with the impact protection to RHEON. Upgraded 2 because of the more anatomical fit. Basically, it hugs your body, more of an athletic fit. And then 3 because it does give you that full back coverage that where the Rebel would be cut off a little bit more. So it doesn't stick out any further than below your mid back, but it gives you that added comfort and protection.
Okay, next step, go from RCH1 to RCH2. Looks like a similar build chassis-wise, but I do see some extra protection there.
Correct. With the RCH2, we added the shoulder protection and then some lighter weight minimalistic EVA foam rib protection. So again, one step above the RCH1, this adds the shoulder and then the rib or abdominal protection as well.
Kind of similar to RCH1, maybe this is more the off-road type rider versus more moto.
Yeah, this is the guy that's going to be possibly taking stuff in the ribs, taking stuff in the shoulders as he's going through the brush, the trees, the rocks, things like that. So you're 100% correct that that is what this is really for.
All right, now we're getting serious. RCH3, and all I see is protection everywhere. Tell me about this thing.
Yeah, this is pretty close to an EOD suit for people who want to ride off-road. So above the RCH2, this adds, this is a level 1 shoulder protection. It adds the bicep protection, and then it does add a plastic injected rib cage element there. So this is the full coverage. This is for the guy like me, the vet rider who still wants to race, but he has to go to work on Monday and he crashes a lot. So this is literally almost full coverage upper body. There is literally nothing that's not protected with this thing. If you're gonna go hard and you wanna feel like I have all the protection necessary, this is what you're gonna wanna wear.
All right, next up we have the RBL1. And I think for a lot of customers, they're gonna look at this and like a confused dog with their head cocked sideways a little bit, because you don't see a lot of US-based customers wearing things like this, especially in the moto or off-road community.
Yep.
But tell me a little bit about this, how this may be a little bit more mountain bike, a little bit more enduro.
Mm-hmm. So RBL stands for RHEON base layer. So this is almost like a skin suit that has protection built into it. It's something that you slip on, you put your jersey or your mountain bike shirt over it, and it basically offers you full upper body coverage. It's got CE level 1 chest, back, shoulders, and elbows. So it's literally a full coverage piece. It's got a moisture wicking antimicrobial mesh chassis. And it's kind of unique because it's got an asymmetrical entry. You come in from the side, and then it's got a nice neoprene, like a zipper garage here, so you don't feel the zipper on your shoulder. And it is kind of a wider cut neck, so you won't see it sticking out around the collar of your jersey. So it was really intelligently designed.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Europe, and I've seen lots of riders wear this, right? So when I think about it, maybe a little bit cooler temperatures, it could be a seasonal piece too, but I think the protection aspects of it are really hard to beat, especially when you can wear it underneath the jersey.
And again, with RHEON and the physical properties of RHEON, it will give you all that protection. Not necessarily of a full hard shell plastic, but like slightly less than that.
All right, a couple knee protection pieces here, and these are probably going to be more mountain bike oriented, I would believe. But let's start with the Blueprint RE, and just tell me about this one a little bit. And it's pretty self-explanatory, but some of the unique features of it.
So this is the sleeve design, basically meant for like enduro. This is kind of your all mountain guy who's going to be pedaling quite a bit. He needs a lot of mobility. It does have a CE level 1 RHEON behind it, and then it's got this unique ceramic coating. So it does have the ability to, like, when you land hard on the ground in your knee, it's not going to like abrade or tear away any of the nylon material around it. Very high abrasion resistance to impact. But it really gives you that minimum layer of coverage, again, level 1, but in that minimalistic sleeve design that's going to let people pedal all day long.
Perfect. All right, this looks like one step up from that.
Yep, this is the RDH. So this is your downhill guy. This is the guy that wants maximum protection. He's doing drop runs, chair lifts, shuttle runs. This is the guy that's gonna go big and probably crash big. So he wants to make sure he has full protection. RHEON, level 1 behind the knee. Also this softer plastic shell, not typically a hard injected TPU, but a very nice compliant plastic. This does have like medial and lateral protection, so it goes all the way around the knee, and then a lower, like an upper shin, and then a lower thigh protection. So it really is that full coverage piece. It's a sleeve design, but it does have the top and bottom straps to make sure that it's locked in place when you're bombing down the hill.
Yeah, so when I look at this, the first thing that jumps out at me is I think people are going to go, well, this softer material can't possibly protect me as a hard plastic shell would, but in testing, this actually absorbs energy much better, from what I understand.
Correct. Because of its compliant nature of this polymer, along with the RHEON behind it, it is that perfect composite solution for that high impact.
Yeah, and I think that's so critically important as we walk through these products is the RHEON, as the impact grows stronger, this actually reacts in a way to absorb more energy. So it is that that strain in it, the more impact you apply to it, the more response you get from it. It's really, really important, and especially in an impact area like that.
Yep.
And then one of the products that we have that's coming, you'll see this in the fall 2027 collection, is the Blueprint RK5. And longtime fly racing customers, you're going to think about the 5 pivot knee brace. This is kind of a quantum leap forward from that 5 pivot.
This is taking the DNA of the 5 pivot and then incorporating RHEON, incorporating all new materials, incorporating more advanced understanding of what anatomically correct means. Just short of like an orthopedic knee brace, this is what you're gonna wanna wear, because this moves with your body as you go through the full range of motion on a dirt bike, but it also gives you the protection, the added protection of RHEON, and then that 5 pivot DNA.
Yeah, and having gotten to see one of these in person, the 5 pivot is so bulky. And you think about knee braces, you think about the prototypical knee guard now.
Yep.
Big, bulk, you can see it through your pants. Yep. I think the future is going to be minimalist.
Yep.
Added protection. The protection is going to be better than what you even know of now, but it's going to fit so much better and be so much smaller on your actual person.
Yep. Because of fly racing's early adoption of RHEON and early adoption of like high-tech materials, we can allow that same impact protection level from the old bulky designs with a much slimmer profile.
Cool. Well, thank you, Chip.
My
I appreciate
pleasure.
it. It's been great to walk through this stuff.
Thank you.